Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. Here we are for the Isrl GR3 Pro race around the Nurburgring GP. Oh, hecky thump. Got the volume up on the tablet, shouldn't have had that. Yeah, today we're going to be going around the Nurburgring GP. We have the three races. We have the stuck check 1 lap, and then we will have 1 lap qualifying. And the lobby will split into 2 groups. The sprint race will start straight after qualifying, and then we'll go for a short break, and if timings are good we should start the feature race at about 20 to 6. He says, sounding hopeful. Right, unfortunately this evening we don't have Herbie in the commentary booth because he's having to go off and do other things. So you're going to have to put up with me, I'm afraid. Hopefully it won't be too bad. So in a couple of minutes it'll change everything over and we will get on with the racing. Yep, that's right, there we go. Right, as usual, if I get a chance, I will jump into a car and see if I can do a quick lap, but I may have to do that rather impromptuly. Oh, let me just quickly say hello to everyone. Alright, so there you go. Just to let them know that I've been a good boy and have started to stream already, even though I was technically a little bit late. But don't tell anyone. It's a secret. Right, what are the chances if I jump into a GR3 that isn't the Mazda? Shall we try for a quick lap? Right, so Sabi is running a little late, so luckily, oh bugger. I was going to jump in then and see if I could get a quick lap in. That'll teach me. Right, the least I can do is actually put on the proper set of boots. I was trying to drift this car yesterday, so it's in comfort softs. Right, so yeah, I'm sure you're all fairly familiar with the Nurburgring GP by now, so I won't bore you with all the track details, like how many corners and what they're called, because I can't actually find my sheet anyway. I know. Let's be cheeky, because it wouldn't be me if I wasn't. Oh, you bugger, come on. Hey Foxy, hey Hansa. Yeah, if it says it's okay, we'll do what we normally do, and we'll try and do it in cockpit view. Excellent, there we go. It's like getting permission from your dad. Can I go out and play? Right, so let's make sure we are in cockpit view. Yes, lovely jubbly. Now, as you all know, I'm a pro racer. Yeah, Hansa, I did notice that Fubuki was in the lobby. Fubuki will be covering for Hansa today. I'm going to presume that's because Hansa has, I don't know, maybe lady friends round, or just has better things to do. Probably work, bless him. Now, this is my first time trying the Nurburgring GP circuit in cockpit view, so it's going to go horribly wrong, and I will miss all of my braking points. And I'm also hoping nobody rear ends me as well, because that would be pretty disastrous. The reason I'm using the Porsche, and I will always use the Porsche for the GR3 races, is because it's the car I like driving, and I am kind of used to it. You don't need first gear around this corner. Are you having a laugh? Oh, Hansa's poorly. Well, get well soon, mate. You know, we want you back on track. I need to be on the right hand side of the track here. A little bit of protest from the rear tyres there. Trying to remember where I am on track. Right, now if I can actually do a lap at pace, you can see how truly terrible I am when it comes to driving this thing. See, oversteering the car, you can tell that by the tortured sound of the tyres. So here we go, flying lap. I may go quiet because I'm going to try quite hard for a change. So down into turn one. Don't turn in too early, which is one of the things I normally do. See, accelerated a little bit too hard there. And didn't wait for the corner to come to me, just decided I was going to try and drive it like a maniac. So, I am on purpose going to try and set a decent lap, and you can see how far off I am from the guys who actually do this, shall we say, full time. Using all the curb on the way out of that corner. Staying in fourth gear this time because it's not my out lap, so I'm going to be a bit braver in that corner. Oh, that might have gone a little bit wrong there, that was a bit silly. But as you can see, Raiden has a 153.2 at the moment. Let's see how far off I am. Absolutely annihilate that corner. So here we go, last bend. Ooh. Car trying to rotate on me under the brakes there. And as you can see, I'm at least 10 seconds slower than Raiden. You do not have a target on track, because I have left the track. Right, so yeah, it was only 10 seconds off the pace. But there you go, there's my Sado attempt at 2 minutes and 3. Right, let's get the stream set up properly. Let's get my keyboard switched on. Let's get all the information up on screen. So here he is, the Triad 153.2 in his practice bus. Obviously it's not a bus, but yeah, so we'll have to see how well it goes tonight. I'm not going to have Herbie watching the back of the pack, so hopefully I don't fall flat on my face. And I will do my best to bring you as much of the action as it happens, but I'm also not promising everything. What I will do is, if I miss a lot of the action, I will actually do a little featurette video, which I will post as soon as I can with, we'll call it a highlight reel. Yeah, that makes sense, doesn't it? Right, so tonight's race, we're obviously at the Nurburgring GP. Time of day is midday, 12 o'clock. We will have a one-lap qualifier. Right, for the, well, the quali and the sprint is 1 lap, and the sprint race will last for 6 laps. For the feature event, the time of day will be set to 5 PM. Tyres are on... tyre wear rather are on 4, fuel is on 5, initial fuel is 95%, and that will be for 18 laps. So hopefully you haven't all got bored of my voice by then and gone home, or switched off YouTube. I don't know whether or not Anthony is streaming the AM race, because nobody's actually given me any information on that. Let's see what Uncle Fubs is driving. Oh, as usual, stunning livery, liking it a lot. Oh, commentator's curse as soon as I start watching Fubs. He goes straight into the pits. Right, so Raiden now just bombing around. Let's be honest, he's my favourite for the sprint. Just because, in saying that, at Maris, he's only half a second behind him. So if he can pull all this together, bearing in mind I don't know what their setups are, and obviously they're both on soft tyres for this, so Hat Maris might actually play a blinder here and pull in a fastest lap. So we're going to stick with him and see what happens. Don't let me down now. If you don't do a decent lap, I'm going to look like a donut. I'm also not sure if his livery is directed at me, because if it is, it's going to be very boring commentary. Right, so through the chicane. Can't remember the name of them all, I'm afraid. Alright. 2 more corners, and then hopefully we'll see whether he goes purple for this lap. Vic goes into 2nd place. So here we go. Oh, 6/100ths up. That's all. Evening, Herbie. Hang on, Herbie. You should be in here with me. Yeah, I know, it's married time. Alright, so what can Matt do as he comes around the final corner? Can he get first? It's not looking good. No, a 154.1. I didn't know that Strictly was back on, Herb. Yes, Sabby is finally in the room. It probably isn't, I haven't got a clue. Sorry, having a chat with chat. Right, so what do we need to know? At approximately 5 o'clock we will have a stuck check, which will be followed by a no-holds-barred one-lap race. Then approximately 5 past 5 we will do one-lap quali using the I'm having issues with English today. I am not reading that out. Actually, here I am. Right, Herbie's replied, nah, it's sex education, then Hannah tonight. I'm not sure if that's code for something. But what do you mean by Hannah? Right, anyway, let's get back to what I was supposed to be saying. Yeah, 5 past 5, one lap qualifying using the game qualifying system. Then the lobby to split into 2 groups. And then the sprint race, I told you I'm having problems with English tonight, is straight after qualifying. Then we will have a short 5 to 10 minute break so people can go off, use the toilet, have a smoke, whatever it is they need to do. And then at approximately 20 to 6, let's get the times right, that'd be useful, we will start the feature race, which should last approximately 36 minutes. Give or take. Right, do you need to know about the point system? The point system's fairly simple for this race. First place gets 15, second place gets 12, third is 10th, fourth is 9th, and then all the way down to 12th place, which gets 1 point. Alright, see you later, Herbs. Thanks for jumping into the stream, mate. Fubuki's back on track. Shall we have a look? Let's have a look. Let's see how he's getting on. So, he's in the Aston Martin. As we can plainly see, the V12 Vantage GT3 from 2012. Yeah, Herbie, cut the damn grass. And obviously, he's going to use a couple of laps just to settle in, and then with any luck, we'll have somebody tonight to actually put a bit of pressure on the top lads who keep running away with these sprint races every week. Raiden. Yeah, I'm talking about you. So, do you know what? I haven't even been looking at his sector times, so I don't know how quick this lap is. Obviously, for the sprint race, there is no tyre wear, there is no fuel depletion. It is just a sprint race. Everybody on racing softs, everybody using the same rules. As Fubuki goes a little bit quicker there with 154.5. Raiden still with a 153.2. I just had one of those senior citizen moments where I had to look and make sure that my mic wasn't muted, because that would just be my luck. I've been talking for the last quarter of an hour with no sound. Right, so at the end of Sector 1, let's see if Fubuki can go a little quicker. Quicker than his own time, but he hasn't gone purple in Sector 1. Right, down into the hairpin, and as he comes out of the hairpin, he will exit Sector 2. And still up on his previous best time. Now obviously Fubuki is a substitute for Hansa, who's feeling a little bit poorly. So I'm not sure on how much practice Fubuki will have had in this car on this track. But Fubuki is quite a good driver, so we should be alright. He has clawed it back a little bit more as well. 0.3 faster than his previous time. Pal also out on track now. So this is just a nice chance for the guys who haven't had a chance to do any practice this week, just to get out and familiarise themselves with the track and the car. As Fabuki goes a 1:53.9, which for now puts him in third, I believe, if my maths is correct. Ooh, interesting. Interesting. Oh, it's not showing me now. Right, Racer Tay is also on a 1:53.9. In his Ferrari 458 Italia. Alan! Hey up, lad. You'll be pleased to know, Hansa and Alan, that I have both of your liveries for the other league. Not wanting to name names. Well, I don't know about anybody else in chat, but I'm doing quite well. I was a bit poorly yesterday, but that's just because I'm old. Right, so Racer's coming around the last corner. Let's see if he's improved on his 1:53.9. He has. By just under 500ths of a second. Do you know what? It's the little things that count, or at least that's what my missus keeps telling me. Oh, please, no shouting in chat. Let's see how Pal's doing. I might just start calling him Paul, because that's what his name literally translates into, I believe, in English. Although that may be an insult to him, so yeah, we'll just call him Pal. Alright, gonna have to get vicious, I think. That was getting silly. Alright, so I'm guessing he's had a bit of an off. Stop it now. Behave yourself. Oh, let's watch Sabby go round. Now that he's finished his outlap, we can see what his sector times are like. Hopefully he'll be able to improve. Obviously he's in the AMG Merc. I like his helmet as well. Not sure how to say that on stream, really, should I? Oh, wish I had a picture to show everybody, but Hansa has created a nice helmet for me, which I will start using in all GR3 events. In fact, I'll just use it for everything from now on, because I tried making myself a helmet and it looks absolute rubbish. Right, so Sabi coming to the end of Sector 3. Is he doing any good though? Was it me, or did the split time not flash up, or have I missed it? Did I blink? Evening, Mew. Ooh, just outside the 153s there for Sabi. Let's have a quick flick back and see what's going on. Who do we have? Who don't we have? Right, that's not telling me anything. I really do need to update that piece of paper. Sorry for being rather quiet there, but I can't type on my phone and talk at the same time. I'm just not good enough for that. Right, let's have a quick look, see if we have... Well, we know that Fubuki is subbing for Hansa. Alright, so the pro race we are going to have Sabi, Fubuki, Athens, Malone and Wiz. Group 2 will be Pal, Racete, Hat Maris, Vit and Raiden. In the AM group, which obviously I'm not streaming, so I don't know if this is going to be correct or not. In Group 1 we have Tech146, then we have Emperor, Panyu G, Will Miller and VT25 Racing. In Group 2 we have BJ Robbo, TNT, Foxy, Rocketman, M3 Guy and Mikey. Now, I do believe that Hunty was supposed to be doing the commentary and whatnot on that, so if he is, then you need to jump on Twitch, because I think that's where he will stream it. Evening, Screechy. Didn't see you slip in there, mate, said the bishop to the... No, don't do that joke. And I missed Sabi's 153.6 there as well. I know why Screech is tired. He's getting old. Right, well, in that case then, if Hunty is not streaming, then I don't know who is, basically. I was under the impression that Hunty would be streaming the amateur race, or the AM race as they call it. Oh, say no more, Screech. Yeah. Yeah, that's the reason why I haven't got a Herbie this evening as well. Right, so as I'm sure everybody saw, Vit did just put up the warning that it is 2 minutes to stuck check time. Now, what I need to do is very quickly make sure that I'm unticked. Yes, I am. Good. Whew. Because that'd be silly. That would definitely be silly. So I suppose the question to Vit would be, what is the Euro NCAP rating of the car you're driving? 2-star, perchance? Is that why you've only got 2 gold stars on your car? I do get the feeling most race cars don't have quite a high NCAP rating anyway. knocked the mic onto mute then, I was actually talking to nobody. Although the dog was looking at me rather funny. But that's just because he's got common sense. Right, so here we go. Looks like Vit's laying down the law. Everybody needs to get out the pits so that we can start the stuck check and the no holds barred 1 lap race. So I will do my best to get a half decent camera position. So this is the 1 lapper. It's a very try-hard lobby, isn't it? Look at all those A's and A pluses. Alright, so let's hope that everybody gets off the line and there isn't any silliness. Green, green, green. Everybody's off. Nice. So now we get a scrap, basically. The turn 1 meme is real for this. As Raiden has already turned sideways. It looked like somebody got reset there as well. Fubuki took a tumble. Oh, and Hat Maris gets into the side of him. It's a good job that this is a bit of a silly bit and not the serious bit of the race, because that could get quite... This is turning into bumper cars. As Racete is pretty much running away with this one. I think he's definitely going to win the stuck check race. So let's have a look what these fellas are doing. Is anyone going to get punted? Athens trying to keep it as clean as he can, which isn't always the best thing in this race, I've found. Alright, so Wiz, Fabuk and Sabi bringing up the rear. Raiden's now going in the wrong direction. Turn around! Vit had a big off there. So I'm not sure what Raiden's thinking. Unless he's thinking he can cause a bit of hassle out of the last corner. But he's going to have to get his foot down if he wants to get there and do some damage, as it looks like there's another person swinging round in the background. Let's see if we can have a look and see what happened there. So Vic comes into the corner and Wiz just gets up his inside, pushes him out into the kitty litter. And that's all she wrote. Right, so Racete wins the stuck check race. Malone still hasn't crossed the line yet. Hurry up, fella. Malone in second. Athens in fourth. Sorry. Pal in third. Athens in fourth. Fabuki in... Wizard in fifth, sorry. What can I say? I'm old. Sabi in sixth. Hat Maris in seventh. Vit in 8th, Fubuki in 9th, with a little bit of a penalty, and Raiden, wow, he's just been a bit of a donut at the moment, isn't he? Because he's still got a lap to do. Because he decided to undo his own lap. So now he is... Oh, okay, I see why he's doing it now. He's just ramming people for giggles. Oh, a little bit of damage, but like we say, this is the silly bit. Alright, so what will happen now is we will get into the we'll get into the sprint race. You just ordered a car. I do believe that once these races are finished, I've got to drive the missus to the Chippy, because we've got no kids today, so it's Chippy dinner for us. Though, to be fair, I think I'd prefer a curry, but, you know. Alright, so there was your quick confirmation of the stock check race. Well done to Racer Tay for winning that. Sorry, I was more interested in drinking my coffee then than anything else. Ooh, that was a bit freaky. Right, so Group 1 goes out. I've immediately lost the bit of paper that explained all of that for me. I do have quite a extensive folder with all the information in for me. Alright, just to reiterate, by the way, that anybody that carries a penalty and doesn't scrub it as soon as they can will get penalty points. Alright, so the only people that should be out on track for the first part of this is the Group 1 guys. So we will have Sabi, Fabuki, Athens, Malone and Wizard out on track first, and then halfway through they'll park up and Pal, Racer, Tay, Hatmaris, Vit and Raiden will come out and do their qualifying laps. So who's first out of the pits? Looks like it's going to be Sabi. Now what they also have to do is space themselves out. They cannot use draft. They cannot stay in the slipstream of the car in front. Oh, excuse me. So, right, Malone needs to back off a little bit from Sabi there, because that is well within slipstream range. So give yourself a little bit of wiggle room, fella. I should really try and find out what the penalty points are. That would be a good idea. Right, there you go. I've just quickly checked through the rules. You must leave at least 3 seconds to the car in front before starting lap. So he can be as close as he likes on the outlap, but he is going to have to back off for this corner so that he can get out there and do his flying lap. And he does look like he's done that. We will find out, of course. Right, as Sabi crosses the line, down into turn 1. Obviously he's going to be the first one across the finish line. And what we want to see is a nice spacing of cars. Nobody too close to anybody else. Everybody in their own little no man's land. Oh look, my favourite car. Right, I'm going to take this time as well, seeing as how we may or may not have somebody streaming the AM races. If anybody would like to commentate on the AM race and stream it every week, I'm sure we can help with thumbnails and things like that. But if you can let us know in the ISRL GR3 Discord, then that would be a great help, because it would be nice to have the AM race streamed alongside the pro race. So what I'm saying is, Screech, if you're not doing anything next Saturday, mate, you know Lookman would love to hear your voice on a Saturday. So would Wiz, so would Fubs. But yeah, anybody who fancies giving commentating a go, you know, even if you only want to do it for a couple of weeks just to see whether or not you like the idea, just please let us know and we'll get something sorted. Or pirate commentary. I likes the sound of that. In my worst farmer accent ever. Alright, so far Sabby has it over the 153.5. Alright, so as soon as Vit says go, then Pal, Racete, Hatmaris, Vit and Raiden are going to come screaming out the pits like a bat out of hell. All tight me babbers. Dirty boy. Yeah, we do really, honestly though, need somebody to be doing the AM races as well. Because I'm good, I just can't commentate on two streams. I have enough issues commentating on just this one. Right, as all of the Group 2 boys now are on their final lap. I do like the one-shot qualifying, I really do. It makes so much sense. I might even steal it for my own league. Yeah, I could have swore Hunty was in the... Yeah, Hunty was supposed to be in the AM lobby in his BMW M6, but obviously he's dropped out. I think he's got a little bored with GT Sport, and of course he's getting on the Assetto Corsa bandwagon as well. So I've tried the game a couple of times. It's really hard on the controller. So until I get myself a steering wheel, you won't be seeing too many videos from me. Right, as Racete goes into second place. Right, Hatmaris and Vit also cross the line. Vit into fourth, Hatmaris into fifth. Raiden into first place with 153.0. I know I shouldn't have said it, but he is my favourite for the sprint races. And Pal comes across with 154.4. I don't know what it is about Raiden, he just seems to be able to nail these sprint races. Right, so tonight's sprint race will be 6 laps. Well, if you're drunk by this time next week, Alan, does that mean you're going to win at Monopoly again? Right, so as it stands, we have Raiden, Sabi, Racete, Malone, Vit, Hatmaris, Pal, Wiz, Fubuki and Athens, and that will be your starting lineup for the sprint race. To be honest, when I saw the video you sounded permanently confused and baffled by, well, the dice more than anything else. Alright, 5 seconds to the start of the sprint race. And even though I've already said it, there was confirmation of the line-up or the starting grid for the sprint. And obviously I'm going to sit at the front so I can see the lights. So, Raiden on pole. Indeed, well said Hansa. Good luck to everybody racing. Alright, so the lights are starting to come on. 4 red lights, dramatic pause, and off we go. Raiden not with the best start there. A little bit too much of the old wheel spin. And it is going to get very tight into turn 1, as we know it always does. But everybody seems to have controlled themselves. There's no bashing and banging going on. It's a nice clean start to the race. Fubuki down in 10th already. Right, so Sabi actually pulling away just a little bit. Nice little group of 4 there. Obviously, if the pack behind can catch, which they should be able to, they're technically in the slipstream range, they're still going to remain one big group for the whole lap. Give it a couple of laps and they'll start to spread out a little bit, as you can see. There you go. Vit has already dropped out of the slipstream range of Raiden. Sabi having a cracking start. And then we have a little three-way battle here with Raiden, Malone and Racete. Obviously no tyre or fuel wear. That was a really tight corner there from Raiden. Be surprised if he doesn't get a bit of a penalty for that. And it doesn't look like he's getting one. Proper naughty that. Alright, Sabi getting out of the slipstream, or breaking the slipstream rather, of the guys behind. Right, has Raiden, has he got up the inside of Malone? He has. No, he hasn't. Yes, he has. I wish I could make my mind up. The good news is he has got a tight left-hander. And he may even be able to make... Yep, he's made 2nd place. But of course, that all undoes, as his inside line for the next corner is actually the outside, but he's held on to it so far. No, he hasn't. Racer's had him. Now, Raiden's not going to take much stock in that. He's going to want to get past Racer Tay as quick as he can. Racer going a little bit defensive. Obviously, that does mean he's going to be a bit slower in the corner. The faster you go, the less the car wants to turn. So you're going to have to slow down more for the corner. Oh, has Raiden made a move here? He's not going to have the inside line, but if he can hold it round the outside, he will have the inside line for the next corner. It hasn't happened. It looks like they're just forming a train at the moment. That's... oh, Raiden's going to catch up quite a lot with him now. He's trying to fake him out. Oh! Little bit of an incident there. Raiden has dropped all the way back to 9th place. It's Raiden we want to be watching here. So he's coming up. He looks like he's going to try and go a bit deep. Cuts back across the track and collects Malone. And then ends up on the grass. And gets reset with Malone. And then spins it out as he gets in a little bit too heavy on the loud pedal. That's not going to make him a happy bunny. I'm not sure what the stewards are going to think about the way he cut across the track there as well. Sabi now has a 3-second lead on everyone else. To be honest, Alan, I'm tempted to agree with you on that one. That was a very dangerous manoeuvre that close to the corner. Evening, Matty. Yeah, that was definitely not what anybody wanted to see this early in the race. So, oh, Vit with a bit of a penalty there. He needs to scrub that as quickly as he can. And as safely as he can, which means he needs to get off the racing line to do it. There we go, beautifully done. Gets out of the way of all the other drivers. Was only half a second, but that is still going to make it a little harder on him now, as he's going to have to try and catch back up to the tail end of Hat Maris. Everybody clipping that poor cone on that corner there. Fubuki sitting back in 8th. Malone now within the tow range of Fubuki, well and truly within the tow range. And poor Raiden way back. 6 seconds off of Malone's tail now. It's not going to have gone very well at all. Alright, Racer Tay in bit of clear air now. Trying to close down the distance that Sabi has been able to stretch out. But Pal is right behind, ready to charge down. The fellow countryman, of course, of Sabi. But Raiden, so far with the fastest lap in the race as well, with a 1:53.7. But that was decidedly a dodgy move, as it looks like Hat Maris is trying to close down on Pal, but he's also got Vit behind him now. Vit obviously wants that podium position. He's still just ever so... That wasn't Vit, was it? That... Am I having a stroke? I am. I'm being stupid. And I'm sure Vit does want the podium position there, but it was actually Hat's car that I saw, not Vit's. So as we close in on the end of this lap now, we will have 2 laps remaining. Let's see if Hat can do anything down this straight, or indeed if Vit can get into the draft and pull that little train behind him along. We do have a proper straggler now, and it's Raiden. I can only guess that he's been off again, but he has gone purple in that sector, which is pretty impressive when you think he is on his own at the moment. We'll stick with Hat Maris for a bit, because I get the feeling he's going to be putting a move on Pal in the next couple of laps. I mean, he has only got 2 laps to do it in, so he's going to have to get that loud pedal just right, stay with Pal, pick his point, and just zoom past. But there you go, commentator's curse is struck again. I said Raiden was going to be my favourite, and he's now way down in 10th. Obviously Raiden now just racing for the point for fastest lap. So we've got a bit of a 3-way battle going on here with Athens, Fabuki and Malone. Malone's done actually quite a good job of catching up to the pack and sticking with these guys because they are quick. And it really does look like a proper battle. There is no distance between these guys at the moment. One small mistake is all it's going to take. I'm trying desperately to watch the minimap as well, just to keep an eye on everything else that's going on a bit further up the track. So just have a quick peek at what's going on. Hatmar is not really making leeway, but Vit is now within draft range, and that means he's going to very soon be pulling Wiz and everybody else along with him. So Fabuki now into 8th place. Obviously Athens and Wiz right there. Oh, that was nearly a beautiful move by Fabuki then. That would have been a solid overtake if you could have had both of them in the same corner. And of course, the longer these 3 guys, or 4 guys as it is now, start fighting, the lower their lap times are going to be. Because they're going to spend a little bit more time defending and less time racing. But let's see on the final lap of the race if these guys can pull anything out of the bag, as Malone gets a little bit friendly with Fabuki into that corner there, nearly forcing Fubs wide. There was it looked to be a small amount of contact, and Malone has actually become worse off than Fabuki on that, dropping back as Fabuki stays on with Athens and Wiz. And now Vit G again, which is absolutely nuts. Wiz is right up the chuff. I'm guessing that Vit has had a little bit of an incident that I wasn't able to catch. Is Wiz really putting the pressure onto Vit now? Obviously Wiz still rocking that new Fanatec wheel, so the more he gets used to it, the more wins he's going to get, let's be honest. Alright, so as we pile down into the final corners of this lap, indeed of this particular race, this is where it's all going to come down to it. Who can get the best out of this last corner? It looks like nobody's going to be overtaking anybody else, and this is your finish. Poor Raiden. Kinda brought it on himself just a little bit there, but still a stonking race from him. And Racer Tay has actually stolen the fastest lap. Right, so absolutely congratulations to Sabi there for... oh, it was a runaway win really. So what will happen is Vit will reset the room, and we will go on a short break so that people can run off and do whatever they need to do, and then get on with the main event, the feature race, which will be 18 laps with tyre wear and fuel wear. I might even be cheeky. I might even be cheeky and get out and do some practice laps myself. Let's find out how long it says. Yeah, we're going to have a 10-minute break, so I'm going to jump on track. I'm going to drive around like a loony. Be rude not to, let's be honest. So, going by that, the race should be starting at approximately... what's that, 5:44. Right, now I'm going to get into my normal race position for this, if you don't mind. And let's see if my out-cab lap is faster than the 2:03 that I did in-car. Oh, there you go. Well, it was really quick, wasn't it? Because everything got reset. And there you go, you can see confirmation there of the settings for the lobby. Tyre wear is on 4, fuel depletion on 5, initial fuel 95%, or 95 litres. But I prefer to say percent. A tank being a full 100 litres. Right, so we'll just wait for this to catch up and then I'll sneak out and do a couple more laps. Obviously I also need a couple of swigs of coffee as well. Right, so let's see if we can chase down Malone. That'd be funny, wouldn't it? Oh, there's Racer Tay in the pits. Right, so we will try to treat this as a race, even though I'm not racing, but hey ho. These things. Oh, that was definitely a cut corner there, Craden. Naughty boy. Oh yeah, he didn't like me for that, did it? It's a good job it's only me out lap. Let's get rid of that penalty. Right, Mew's getting everyone an ice cream from what I've just read, so put your orders in, boys. I've got a little bloody fly in front of my eyes now. That's not annoying at all. That may have been a little ambitious even for me. Oopsie! Slidey! See, now, not a big fan of the racing tyres because you can't drift the Porsche as well. And I know I shouldn't be drifting, I should be going as fast as I can round the corners, but drifting is so much fun! And I broke so early for that corner, it's not even funny. Alright, let's hope that this lap isn't as disastrous as the one where I did cockpit view. I'm sure it won't be. Oh, turned in way too early. That's silly. I actually did the daily race in the Porsche and it was hilarious. I enjoyed it thoroughly, but I ended up drifting most of the track because I was on sports hards, which really annoys me. Why are we always on sports hards? Of all these tyres in game, and we're only ever allowed to use sports hards in the dailies, why was I in first gear there? That's a silly gear to be in for that corner. Oh, excuse me. Right, sorry, I'm actually in try-hard mode at the moment, boys, so I'm not able to read what you're typing. I'm sure it's exciting in epoch making as I absolutely fluff it up right in front of Hat Maris there. No, I don't want reverse, silly person. Well, buggered that lap up, didn't I? Well, yeah, technically they are from the same family, so to say the Porsche is a Samba bus isn't a stretch of the imagination. But that's also like saying the Volkswagen Beetle is a Porsche, which, let's be honest, it just shares some characteristics of the older Porsches. Again, broke way too early. Oh! Silly person. Silly person. Drop it into first. Okay. Turn car. Right, I'm going to wait off track until Racer Tay comes past me. Oh, you little bugger. Right, just for that, I'm going in the pits. No, seriously, I'm going in the pits. And you can't stop me. No, 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 no. Hopefully it won't reset me. Ha ha! Can't believe he rammed my Porsche. I was hoping I could give that a bootful and it'd drift around the first corner, but it didn't work. No, see, she don't want to drift. Yeah, that's just getting silly now. Could be worse. I could be driving these things. You'll notice that that isn't my livery. But, you know, c'est la vie and all that. No, Mach 40 for drifts, mate. Indeed, Raiden, you are most definitely in pole. Why are you dreading tomorrow then, Alan? Are you driving the Supra? Do you know what? That's what I do, Mew. I aim for last place, and if I get any higher than that, it's a bonus. Usually because people have, like, rage quit, but... Oh, of course, yeah, that Mazda. So, after last week's race, were you successfully able to tune the drift out of it? Are we at Brands Hatch tomorrow? Let me have a look at my folder of doom. Yes, we are. It's only 24 laps. You'll be fine, mate. Icky thump. Alright, it's just waiting for Wiz to join back onto track so that Vic can set the grid. Right, there we go. So, well, do you know what? I can drive that car with the traction control on 3 and still lose the back end, so don't worry about it. You'll do better than I ever do on it. Right, there you go. Confirmation from Vic, starting the feature race in 1 minute. So we'll be looking to finish the race at about 25 past 6. That's BST. Come on, let's be a good boy. There we go. Yeah, maybe start vaping then, mate. Right then, so here we go, the feature race for the Isrl GR3 Pro Division, Season 12, Race 5, 18 laps of the Burger GP circuit. So, Raiden will be starting on pole, because unfortunately he finished the race last, and it is a rolling start. It doesn't look like there's any silliness at the back, but obviously some of them are going to be starting in the hairpin. Yeah, no drama there. Right, now, Malone has done an absolute stonking job there of cutting Raiden off into turn 1. There's a few people end up going wide there. I'm not quite sure what happened. I think we'll have a quick look at Wiz and see what happened at the start there. Because he's done an absolute blinder of a job getting up to 3rd for the first corner. Okay, I'm obviously seeing things. Not a problem. Right, so everybody seems to be playing nicely. Raiden's still in first place, Malone in second, Wiz in third. Getting a bit of a gap from Vitamin G at the moment. And then we've got a bit back to Athens. Then Hat Maris with Fabuki right up his chuff. Pal, Racete, And Sabi at the back. Obviously Sabi's at the back because he won the sprint race. Let's jump back to Malone. And obviously most of these guys will start on the mediums and then switch to the softs. Yeah, to be honest, Mew, I agree with you there. It did look like everybody was a little bit ambitious with their braking there. And Wiz was just able to plough his way through and gain 2 spots in the first corner. Raiden a little wide there. This is one of my least favourite corners this is on the game, because I always muck it up. Now, obviously for the first 2 laps I am going to ignore purple sectors, because everybody is going to have a purple sector in the first 2 laps. Yeah, I'm sure Wiz will be gutted that he only made up 2 spaces into the first corner. We seem to have somebody dropping off the back. I didn't see Sabi have an accident, but I'm guessing something happened down in the hairpin. Oh no, unfortunately it happened before the hairpin and I can't go back far enough for that. This is the problem when you commentate on a race on your own. Normally Herbie would say something, I can whack the record button and go back and have a look. Looks fairly tight back here now. Wiz dropping off just a smidge. And Malone getting... Oh, I was going to say he's getting ever closer, but he isn't really. Lovely shot there of Malone's brake rotors absolutely lighting up. I think a nice wide line into this left-right combination. Right, nothing much seems to have happened so far. Fubuki has been overtaken by Racete. Fubuki's now down in last. I'm not going to lie, that's confused me. Oh, Fubuki's already on his soft tyres. I'm guessing that's planned for. Wiz not really able to keep on the back of Malone there, as Malone officially goes purple. Obviously he's going to be getting the toe off Raiden round here. See if he stays purple at the end of the 3rd sector. Right, now the final corner to go. Everything seems to be setting itself down. Malone does indeed go fastest with 156.1. But still really not making that much of an impression on Raiden, to be fair. And there is an absolute train forming. Right, Sabi now with the fastest lap, a 1:54.7. So Sabi on a charge. Sabi actually in clean air and still able to stick in a bit of a fast lap there, using that AMG grunt to his advantage, as he took out quite a chunk of time there. That was an impressive move. I get the feeling Sabi will be setting yet another fastest lap. It'll be also interesting to see whether or not Wiz's undercut will work. Not Wiz, Fubuki, sorry. It's my age, what can I say? So Sabi comes into the pit. No, he doesn't. Hat Maris and Wiz come into the pits. Now it'll be interesting to see where Fubuki comes out now, as those guys are in the pits. Let's see. It looks like one of them's coming out the pits. It's Wiz. So that's going to be a bit dangerous down into turn 1. But so far the undercut working for Fubuki. The only thing against him now is that Wiz is going to be in his slipstream, and he's going to be on a slightly fresher set of tyres. But I actually think they've played a blinder there, especially Wiz, who was in second place. Or I believe he was in second place, might have been in third. But he's now going to be getting the draft off Fubuki, which of course means he's going to be potentially moving a lot quicker than the guys in first, second and third. Lest we not forget as well, Fubuki has been having issues with his pedals recently. So you never know, halfway through the race something might happen. I really, hopefully, honestly hope it doesn't. But those wheels have been playing, those pedals rather, have been playing up for him quite a lot in the last couple of weeks. Alright, as Raiden comes into the pits, so he's going to want to get in and out as quick as he can, because everybody now is charging down his throat. Athens into the pits as well. Let's see what these boys can do. Raiden's going to come out in front of these guys, I think. Yep, only just though, with Vit there as well. Yeah, that was weird. So Fubuki now with the draft of Raiden. Right, Malone still pushing his car as far as he can, but Sabi, he does seem to be going through his fuel and tyres a lot quicker, but he did start on the softs. Now, unlike the other league that I do on a Sunday, I do not believe there is a minimum amount of time you need to spend on a certain compound of tyre. And indeed, it doesn't say anywhere. No, it doesn't. It doesn't say that you have to do a minimum amount of laps per tyre. So they could potentially, if they wanted to, get near the end of the race and just stick on a new set of boots again. Malone pushing his way ahead. Obviously those mediums are going to start feeling a little bit tired in the next couple of laps, and he needs to keep an eye on his fuel gauge as well, because this would not be the first time, as indeed he comes into the pits The nice 6.5 second buffer, so he's going to come out right in the mix. So let's watch his pit stop with that annoying buzzer and see where he comes out. Predicted to come out in 5th. He's going to have to take on quite a bit of fuel for the end of the race. Let's see where this plonks him. It has indeed put him in 5th, but Fubuki flies past. And Vit nearly gets past him as well. In fact, Vit's going to have him here because he's made a mess of the first corner. So now we have Sabi leading, who obviously him and Pal are going to be coming into the pits in the next few laps. Has Racer Tape already been in? No, he's going to be coming in as well. So your leader on track will be Raiden, who has a nice 2.2 buffer back to Fubuki. So Racer Tay, Pal and Sabi are all going to be, I presume, coming into the pits in the next couple of laps to get new boots on, fill up and hopefully take this to the end of the race. I get the feeling they're going to try for 9 laps on the mediums so they can spend as little time possible on the softs so they don't wear out as quick as everybody else's, and maybe go for the one-stop strategy. Obviously, as the cars get lighter as well, Sabi's fastest lap of 1:54.6 may not stand. Yeah, indeed, it looks like have all 3 of them gone in. That sounded like a crash going into the pits. Right, let's have a quick look at what was going on there, because that really did sound like a crash going into the pits then. Because I'm pretty sure Racer Tay was not at the front of that queue. Nope, okay. Really not sure what happened there. Right, so after the first lot of pit stops, Raiden's first, Fubuki second, Vit in third, Malone in fourth, Wiz in fifth, Matt in sixth, Sabi in seventh, Pal in eighth, Athens in ninth, and Racer Tay in 10th. Now, as you can see, Fubuki only came in a few laps ago and already his tyres are starting to look a little bit worn out, and they're going to be feeling tired compared to the tyres that are behind him. His Fit's definitely got a much fresher set of tyres on. So fairly soon, young Mr. Fubuki is going to run into the pits again for a bit of a splash and dash with a change of tyres. It looks to me like Vit's going to be putting a move in on Fubs soon. Fubs does seem to be holding them up just a little bit, as Vit's decided this is where it's going to happen. Wisely backs out to make sure there's no silliness in the corner there. The S-bend is not the best place on this track to put in a move, but potentially the hairpin was. But he's erring on the side of caution. And I'm guessing now he's going to take that down to turn 1, swing out at the last minute and go for the move. Or Malone's going to do it to Vit, and Vit's going to have to close the door on him. And Raiden at the moment is absolutely romping away with it, 4.5 seconds up the road. It doesn't seem to be too much silliness at the back of the pack either. Let's have a quick jump back, see what's going on. No, they're all spreading out nicely at the back now. So this is your lead group. Obviously Raiden's running off down the road, but this is your battle for second. It's a 4-car battle. soon to be 5 as Hat Maris is joining the back of the queue. Oh, looks like Vit has got a much better drive out there. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to hold it though. Fub's having the racing line into the corner. Yeah, I'd have to agree with you there, Mew. There's going to be quite a few of them too stopping in this race. But Vit desperate now, maybe just getting a little bit too friendly with Fubs there. Pushing him wide on the exit of that corner. Of course now Fubs is going to have to contend with dirty tyres. It doesn't last too long in this game, but it's long enough that if you get on your loud pedal too quickly, you're going to end up spinning the car. Vit doing the decent thing there and sitting back and waiting for Fubuki. Obviously didn't need a replay of that one because I was actually watching the action for once. See, now that's how you should do the overtake. Wait for a proper opportunity and put yourself in a position that's going to force the other guy to stay out. Obviously Fubs is going to take these tyres for a couple of more laps. That was a whistle. And then he's going to come in, fuel to the end of the race, new set of boots. Yeah, Hansa, unfortunately, definitely racing with the elbows out in that corner. Yeah, quite possibly, Mew. And of course Fubuki is on old tyres now as well. That's not going to be helping. He's more than likely going to come in at the end of this lap because those tyres are pretty knackered now. And any minute now I get the feeling that fuel's going to drop down into the red. There you go, literally as I said it drops down into the red. Excuse me. So now at the moment all Fubs needs to do is nurse this back to the pits. Fubs has a little wiggle there to try and break the slip. But Sabi's having... no, not having it. Yeah, Fubs comes into the pit, so he's coming in for his second stop. New set of boots. Fuel to the end of the race. And I've just been warned that if this race goes over, my wife will visit every one of you and beat you up. So please, boys, no racing incidents. Let's just get to the finish line because I like life. Right, Fub's taking on quite a bit of fuel here. Came in with 7%, leaving the pits with a full tank of gas. Now, has he done that so he can just push as hard as he can for the last 7 laps? It'd be interesting to see whether or not the strategy will help him. Obviously he's going to be on fresh rubber now anyway, so he's going to technically be better in the corners than everybody else, but his car's going to be a whole lot heavier. Yeah, you don't want Mrs. Graydon wearing her slappy gloves. And she's a nurse, so she knows how to poison you as well. I'm just putting that out there. You'll be supping on your cup of tea and you'll be having digitalis, I'm telling you. Malone with a 154.5. Didn't even spot that. Right, let's see how far Raiden has maintained. Oh, he's actually doing really well here. He's still got 5 seconds on him. But Malone does have better tyres, but they're on about the same fuel. Wiz, who is a absolute fucking masterclass. Oh, in the pits, 19% fuel, so if he fuels to the end of the race now, that means he's going to be able to absolutely romp away with this, as everybody else in front of him will more than likely have to come in for a splash and go. No, Mew, you won't be safe, she'll find out where you live too. Alright, so, Wiz with only 85% fuel on board. Interesting. Yeah, see now that kind of incident does need to go to the stewards between, well, with what happened to Fubuki, because they'll need to determine whether it was a racing incident or was it done out of frustration, maybe. But either way, they are going to have a look. Right, so the front four are basically on this same strategy from what I can tell. The front two definitely on the same strategy, as you can clearly see. Raiden a bit harsher on his tyres than anyone else, but if you're going to stay out in the lead, you've got to push it. You're not going to stay in first place by holding back. And they are pretty much both going to have to come into the pits at the same time, so this will become a pit stop race for these two. Yeah, true, but you know, it'll still have to go to the stewards, as Raiden nearly forgets to come in. That was a bit dodgy, I'm not going to lie. So Raiden with 1% more fuel than Malone, and they are going to fuel to the end of the race, so I'm going to say about 80% fuel. As Sabi and Pal go streaming past. Indeed, that may cause a bit of an issue when the guy who caused the accident is actually the steward. But you know, I'm sure he'll be fair, and if he thinks that he made the mistake of forced football, then he will hopefully penalise himself. Well, not hopefully, that's the wrong word. But you know what I mean. Right, so the two guys in first and second are not actually in first and second, because they're still going to have to come into the pits. So after all the pit stops, Racer Tay's been in, Vit's been in, Matt's been in, Wiz has been in, Malone and obviously Raiden have been in, so it's only these two fellas here. I'll just keep flicking backwards and forwards because it'll probably do your head in. Yeah, these two will have to come in. Let's just hope that Sabi has left himself with enough fuel. Oh, Pal is definitely going to be on fumes when he rocks up into the pits. Let's hope he remembers to fuel save for the rest of this lap. True story, he did wait, which is what you're supposed to do. So there is a good chance that it won't even get to, well, himself. But then that is the perfect example of how you should be racing in all leagues. If you punt somebody off and it is, you know, not your fault, it's an accident, you just got a little bit excited, the best thing you can do is just let them get past you again. Powell pushing his luck there, 1% fuel coming into the pits, which promotes Raiden back into first, Malone into third and Wiz into fourth. Alright, they're now being predicted 7th, 8th, 8th and 9th. Obviously there's going to be cars zooming past them as they exit the pits. Remember, it is their responsibility. They're the ones leaving the pits. They're the ones joining the raceway. So Raiden, let's see if he kept... Yep, he's got his 5-second lead. Raiden has definitely... No, let's not say that. Raiden has probably won this, as long as he doesn't do anything silly. I don't think Wiz is close enough to Malone. Indeed he isn't. and Hatmaris is a little bit too far back to do anything with Wiz. You can't make Vit sleep with the fishes. He'll run the league. Right, so excluding the lap that we're on, we have 4 laps remaining. So we are indeed looking for a finishing time around... what's that going to be? Around 6:28, I'm going to say. Let's see if my maths is correct. Don't look at me. I'm just a commentator, I ain't running the league. That and the fact I'm still trying to figure out rules for the my own GR3 league at the moment, so which is a long way away. Yeah, Mew could do it. Mew's got the skills. I'm sure of that. He just pretends. I can literally hear Fub's car racing up behind Racer Tay now. But can he do anything with the 4 laps remaining? Not much going on at the moment. This literally is now, this little 3-way battle here is the closest bit of racing on the track. So we'll stick with it for a bit, see if Vit or Hatmaris can make anything of it. Sabby is a really quick driver, to be fair, so it's going to be a tall order to catch up with him and overtake him. As it looks, I could be wrong, but it looks like Sabby is pulling Wiz in a little bit. Nope, I'm imagining that. Or am I? Alright, you take care, Screechy. Screech is off for din-dins. Don't tempt me, Mew. I would actually do something as daft as that. Could do a race along Route 66. Have I missed something again? We seem to have a car lollygagging all the way at the back. And it's poor Athens. What are you doing all the way back there, fella? Alright, we'll actually stick with Vit. Because he is in the middle of this trio of charging chariots. There you go. I know, I actually can't wait for Idaho to be released. Can you imagine, as soon as that gets released as well, Truckers MP will blow up. Everybody will be wanting to go there. Yeah, you tell him, you. No lollygagging. There you go, for all you Skyrim fans out there. Of which I am one. Well, to be honest, Hansa, I much prefer the online version of it, that you have to get the Truckers MP and jump online and race, well, not race, but drive with other humans who aren't always the best. As Vit looks like he's done it, he's actually had him in turn 1, and if he's not careful, Powell's going to have him as well. Powell can keep that wheel in. No, he's very wisely dropped back. In fact, I was actually on ETS2 this morning on Truckers MP. I had to take a shipment to Belgium. Well, I've got a very nice gaming laptop that I play it on. I don't know, they both have their merits, let's put it that way. Right, so we are about to get to the crux of this for the final lap, as Raiden still has a 4.5 second lead. Malone has a 3 second lead on Wiz, who has almost a 3 second lead on Sabi, who almost has a 3 second lead on Vit, and then we have a little three-way battle going on. Racete nearly 5 seconds down the road, Fabuki 8 seconds behind Racete, and Athens 17 seconds. There must have been an incident there that I missed. There's no other way around it. So Raiden now officially on his final lap. Let's be honest, he could coast it round now. Right. That didn't mean drift it round, lad. Calm down now. Rein it in. Don't do anything silly. Don't burn those back tyres out too quick, or you're going to end up sliding all over the shop. Can't just treat it as your own practice race now. Settle into it. You've got 4 seconds to spare, but that doesn't mean you have to waste it drifting all the corners. You know, you've been told, behave. Yeah, that is a problem with the Truckers MP. You do have to kind of downgrade ETS2 and ATS to actually play them online. But then it does bug me that they don't have an inbuilt online service anyway, especially in this day and age. Right, so Raiden coming up to the last chicane now, and then he'll just have the hairpin to go, and he will win the Nurburgring Grand Prix. That's what I'm calling it, because F1 has officially started. Slideways out the corner, going for style points. Well done, Raiden. Really good drive, mate. Nice and solid from the start. To be fair, Raiden doesn't always win the feature races. The sprint races he does. So, no, I'm giving him kudos for that one. I obviously got it backwards. I didn't mean he was going to win the sprint race earlier. I meant this one. So, who are we waiting for? We're just waiting for Athens now, who is literally about to cross the line. There we go. Right, so congratulations, Raiden. Well done, mate. We'll have a quick look at the leaderboard. Well, sorry, we'll have a look at the race results. There you go. Well-deserved win. Literally led it from the beginning. Alright, so we'll have a quick look. So your official results are Raiden in first, Malone in second, Wiz in third, Sabi in fourth, Vit in fifth, Hat Maris in sixth, Pal in seventh, Racete in eighth, Fabuki in ninth, and Athens in 10th. So congratulations to everyone, that was a fairly clean race. I'm going to very quickly save the replay. And we are going to call it a night there, gentlemen. Thank you so much for watching, those who stayed with us. Next week, where are we? We are at... Let me have a quick look. Next week, we will be at Spa. Eki Thump. That's going to be a race and a half. So, until next week, guys, thanks so much for watching. Like and subscribe. Press the little bell icon if you want to be notified of any future videos. And as always, take care of yourselves. Bye bye now.